Hey everyone, Ace of Clay here, and welcome to another sculpting video. In this one, we're making some creepy twins. Inspired by the Grady twins from The Shining, I decided to make my own version and make their eyes follow you. What does that mean? Well, basically, it's an optical illusion that makes it so no matter what angle you look at them from, their eyes are always looking right at you. You'll see what I mean in a sec. It's pretty neat. Now, before we jump in, thank you so much for 200,000 subscribers. In honor of this milestone, I am doing a giveaway. If you haven't seen it already on my social media pages, I'm giving away what I'd like to call the ultimate Ace of Clay sculpting set to one lucky subscriber. It's filled with all my favorite sculpting supplies, and some of it's actually nicer than the stuff that I use. It's pretty much everything you need to start sculpting. I'm even giving you a toothbrush for texturing. So if you'd like to enter the giveaway, stay tuned until the end of this video so you can learn how. And if you're watching this after the giveaway has ended, I'm sorry, but there'll definitely be more giveaways. Hello, 300K. Okay, I think that's everything I need to say. Let's sculpt these twins. Alright, first step is to drill 4 holes into this wooden plaque where I will be inserting some bamboo skewers that will be the twins' legs. Then I'm just trimming those to size, and now I'm going to take some thinner aluminum wire than what I normally use, and I'm going to wrap this around the top of each skewer to create the torso and shoulders of each twin. And there we go. And then for this video, I'm just really going to show you how I make one of the girls. I'm not going to make both of them on camera. That's just a little redundant, so just want to let you know that. And then here I'm just attaching the arms with some floral wire, and I trimmed those to size. This is from the arms are from my regular 12 gauge aluminum wire. There we go, the armature is done. Now it's time to bulk out the torsos with some aluminum foil. Then we're just adding that to the armature and then securing it with some masking tape. Then once that's on, it's time to cover the entire thing in clay. We're using Super Sculpey Original for this project. And then as always, all of the materials and tools that I use in this video are listed in the description box below, along with my affiliate links if you want to purchase anything. Alright, we got one leg covered in clay and another one. Now we're just smoothing that out a little bit. And we're going back to our base, and I'm just going to cover the top with some Bacon Bond. And then I'm going to add some clay on top of that because I want to texture this to look like carpet. Now we're just trimming it to size with my broken palette knife. And then I just want to poke in the holes again just so I know where to add the girls once I'm ready. And then using this cheap facial scrub brush, I'm going to texture the surface of this, like I said, so that it looks like carpet. It's super easy and super effective. Check it out. Alright. Now it's time to go back to the twins, and we're going to give them a little dresses. So we're going to try this here and see what this style looks like. Do I like it? No, I don't. Let's try something else. It's just too plain and boring for me. So we're going to go with this method here, and we're just going to create some ruffly fabric like that, and then attach it, and then blend the top edge in with the torso. This looks much better than just the flat look we did earlier. Then I'm just going to take my spoon tool here to define the waist area a little bit more on the dress, and then remove some clay and shape things out. And that's looking pretty good. Alright, now that the second twin is done, we're just going to add some bamboo skewers to the shoulders to create their necks, trim those to size, and then add some clay around the base. Alright, now we're ready to detail the dress a little bit more. I'm just using this little round cookie cutter thing to create the shapes for her collar. Another instance of something being super easy and super effective. And then here we're just going to create some buttons down the front, just a couple of them. Nice added detail, and then we are going to add a nice little band around her middle area. And then detail that with this detail tool. I have no idea what it's called. Alright, now that both of their dresses are at a good point, it's time to brush the entire surface with clay softener to remove fingerprints and get them ready for their first bake. And then once they're baked and completely cooled down, it's time to add some clay to the arms. Then once the arms are looking decent, I'm just going to give them some puffy sleeves. This is just a snake of clay that I'm adding, like so, and then we're going to add some little ruffles at the end of it. Then to create the ruffles, this is just another snake of clay, a much smaller one that I'm adding to the bottom, and then I am shaping it out with my spoon tool and then pressing this other tool into it. And there we go. Not bad. Now that the sleeves on twin number 1 are done, it's time to do them on twin number 2. Gotta love editing. If only it was that easy. Anyway, they're looking pretty good. Let's start their heads. I just shaped out the core of each head from some aluminum foil, and I'm covering that in clay. And I'm just using my fingertips to shape out the head and smooth it out. And then I added a bamboo skewer so that I can hold on to that. Now I'm just using my large ball stylus to press out the eye sockets. And then we're just bringing out the forehead a little bit more with another piece of clay. Then deepening the eye sockets a little bit more. And now it's time to make the eyes that will follow you. These are just made from 6mm cabochons. I am pressing the front of them into this piece of clay to hold them in place. And then I'm going to take a small ball stylus to put a tiny black dot in the center of each one. Then we're going to set that aside to dry. And then once we're ready to add the eyes, I am just adding some glow-in-the-dark clay so that the eyes glow in the dark, and then adding the painted cabochon on top of that. The distortion of the cabochon creates the illusion that the pupil is following you. It's a really cool effect, and you'll get a better view of it in a second. Now we're just going to give her some eyelids really quick with tiny snakes of clay that I'm shaping out with my spoon tool. And then there you go. Now you can kind of see the effect a little bit more. Now I'm just going to create the general shape of the nose with my spoon tool and then start shaping out the mouth area. And then let's see what she looks like with dimples. I don't end up keeping these though. Now I'm just going to build up her cheeks a little bit with some more clay and carefully blend that in, trying not to screw up everything I already did. Then once her new cheeks are on and she's looking pretty good, we are just going to go in and refine some things with various different tools. And then at this point, I decided I didn't want her to be smiling, so we're just going to go turn that smile into a creepy frown. I want her face to be kind of expressionless, and I think I've achieved that. Now let's give her some ears. Then once the ears are on and her face is looking pretty good, we're going to brush it with clay softener to remove fingerprints. And then a while later, we have the second head, and it's time to bake them. Then once the heads are baked and completely cooled down, it's time to make the hands. And originally, I wanted them to be holding hands like they do in The Shining, but I thought it kind of looked creepier if they weren't, so that's what I ended up going with. They're just kind of standing there, staring you down, creeping you out, you know. Now we're just attaching the last hand. And let's see what they look like with their heads on. Wow, check it out. Look at their eyes. I love it. Okay, now we got to give them some feet and shoes. So we're just shaping that out right there. And then I'm not using any bake and bond because I want to be able to remove them from the base after I bake them so that they are easier to paint. This would be borderline impossible to paint if I couldn't take them off the base. Then once the shoes are shaped out, I'm just going to take this tool here to create the soles. The only soles they have are the ones on their shoes. Now I'm just going in with my Explorer tool to add some detail. Then we're going to finish off the shoes with little straps, and then we're going to give them ruffly socks, because why not? And then since the other sock wasn't really cooperating with me, I added a little bit of Bacon Bond to make the surface a little tackier. And it worked! Not bad. And they're almost done. Now it's time to add the hair. Before I add the clay for the hair, I'm just adding a little bit of Bacon Bond to just help it adhere a little bit. Brushing that on nicely, and then adding the clay. And I just want to give them, pretty simple, straight to the point hairdos, nothing crazy. And then as an added detail, I'm going to give them little headbands. And then for the bangs, after the headband's on, some nice little side parted bangs here. Then a little bit of hair on the other side. And now it's time to add all of the hair texture with my Explorer tool. And then as a final detail, I'm adding some Bacon Bond so we can stick a bow on. There we go, getting closer. Now we're just going to attach your head with a little bit of Bacon Bond. Not bad, not bad. Time to do the other one. Then we're going to brush the uncured areas with some clay softener to remove fingerprints. And then once they're baked and completely cooled down, it's time for paint. All of the paints that I use in this video are Folkart brand matte acrylics. And then for her skin here, we're going with this nice dead blue color. To create this color, I mixed the color Dolphin with a little bit of pure black and titanium white. And we're just going to go over all of the areas of skin with a couple coats of this. Alright, one down and one to go. Then once they're both painted, it's time to start adding some details to the face. I'm using some darkened bluish gray that I just added a little bit more pure black to. And I'm just dabbing it around the eyes, getting into all of the nooks and crannies. I'm not worried about getting any paint on the glass cabochons because I'm just going to scrape it off after it's dry. Now I'm just defining the cheekbones a little bit. Eyelid area, not bad. Now I'm just going to gently dry brush some lighter gray blue onto all of the raised areas of her face. I just added some titanium white to that dead blue color. Not bad. Then I'm just going to go in with a very fine detail brush to add a nice band of black around her eyes. And then now it's time to paint her hair. I went with red just because I thought it would be a nice contrast to the bluish gray. And then to create this red shade, I mixed some Barnyard Red with the color Buttercup. Then once that base red color is on, I'm just going to go in with some watered down dark reddish brown that I created by mixing some brown and pure black with the red color, and it is watered down, and I'm brushing it on the surface and wiping off the excess with my paper towel. Then for the final step on the hair, I am just dry brushing some light red that I tinted with yellow onto the surface. Then now for the dress. I decided to paint these green just because I thought it would go nicely with the red hair. Then to further detail the dress, I'm going in with some darker green into all of the nooks and crannies. And this is also a wash, which means it's watered down. Now I'm going to paint her little headband and bow a lighter green than her dress. I just lightened the dress color with some warm white. And then I go into that and darken some areas as well. Now I'm painting her socks this dull cream color. Now I'm going to paint her collar this nice gray tone. And I'm using the same color to paint the band around her waist. And now it's time to paint the shoes black. And because I can't wait any longer, I'm just going to take a toothpick and scrape off that dried paint from her eyes so we can see how she looks. Then I switch my toothpick out for some other tools that work a little bit better, just being careful not to remove the paint from the clay. Then once their eyes are completely scraped off, looking pretty good. Now it's time to finish it off by painting that base. For the beveled edge, I am just painting that some dark brown. This is straight brown mixed with pure black. I'm just going around the edge like that. And then for the carpet area, I want to go with a red carpet, so I'm using some Imperial Red tinted with a little bit of pure black and brown. I also added a little bit of green to create this nice blood red color. Alright, now because I want this to look like creepy hotel carpet, let's give it a creepy pattern. Here's attempt number 1 with some gold. I'm just creating this little, I don't even know what it is, nice little pattern here that I don't like while I'm doing it, but I keep going because I think maybe if I add more, I'll like it better. But that wasn't the case. I didn't do the entire thing, but just enough to realize I don't like it. So we just paint over that with some more of that red and we try something else. Now instead of using gold, I'm going in with some darker red and I'm just creating this random shape pattern here, and this is just the same red that I used for everything else that I tinted with a little bit more pure black. I'm just kind of going crazy with this pattern and I end up liking it. And then for the last step, we're just going to give them some eyebrows. Originally, I wasn't going to. I was just going to leave it how it was, but I thought that the eyebrows would add something, and I'm glad I added them. I think they look cool. And then for the last step, I'm just going to attach them to the base with some E6000 industrial adhesive, and they're done! Our creepy twins are complete. Let me know what you think in the comments. And now stay tuned until the end of the video to see how you can enter the giveaway. And that's a wrap. I really hope you like our creepy twins. They're not exactly identical, but it gets the point across, and I really like how their eyes follow you. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. Now for the giveaway. My last one was really organized, so I'd like to do this one the same way. Now here's what you could win. A 10-piece stainless steel sculpting tool set, 2 pin tools, a 5-piece color shaper and ball stylus tool set, 18 folk art matte acrylic paints, a 10-piece paintbrush set, some 12-gauge aluminum wire, wire cutters, an acrylic clay roller, a 3-piece ball stylus and firm detail tool set, some Bake and Bond of course, clay softener, 1 pound of Super Sculpey Original, 1 pound of Super Sculpey Firm, a toothbrush for texturing, and a storage box to put it all in. Now to enter to win this, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, like this video, comment anything down below, and then fill out the Google form in the description box. Just like last time, it's only a couple questions and it really helps me keep everything organized. The winner will be chosen at random and will be announced at the end of next week's video on September 27th. I'll also pin the winner to the top of the comment section on this video. And then all I ask is that if you really don't need this stuff, please don't enter, save it for somebody that does. All of the official rules and whatnot are listed in the description box. Thank you so much again for 200,000 subscribers. You have no idea how much this means to me. Thank you so much for being here and watching my stuff. And good luck to everybody that enters the giveaway. If you're looking for more content from me, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Ace of Clay, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.